All right, we are live. Good evening from the very dark, very getting colder province of Saskatchewan. And we can say that legitimately because Grant's here.
Yes,
Not at my place. He's in a different place,
in a different place.
3.5 hours away.
Do you know what? What a beautiful place Saskatchewan is. Um, so yeah, but cold, beautiful but cold.
You ain't see this is still shorts weather for a lot of people.
Oh my goodness me! I thought I'd go and do a bit of exploring this afternoon because the journey in was quite traumatic. So I thought, you know what, I'll go explore the local area. And when I went outside, I had tears rolling down my face. And at one point, I thought, if I do this anymore, they're going to freeze and stick to my face.
Yeah, that is the rhyme of time. Let me tell you, there are days where we would be driving our ATVs around, and we had a dog. It was an Irish setter, and Irish setters by default are not the smartest animals. This dog would not go home, and it didn't matter if it was -20 outside, -30, whatever. If we were outside, that dog was running beside us. And so
Wow.
it would literally have its tongue frozen to one side of its face. It would have ice in its paws, limping around. And if we took off, that dog was there right beside us all the time. So we literally had to drag her into the house to let her defrost.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's how I felt today.
Um,
Character building, I think it is.
well, that's exactly it. We are hardy people for a reason. When you're in Saskatoon, lots of places to explore. So we'll chat about that. When we get off the air. But
Yeah.
I will say this of Saskatoon: I've grown up and moved around this province a number of times. If there's any one of two or three cities that I would live in, Saskatoon would definitely be at the top of the list.
Brilliant. Cool. Cool. Yeah, interesting chat this afternoon with Tommy Giorlando, um, who's bringing like the Tom Silver Foundation certification to PHS.
Very
Um,
nice.
that is really really excited about that, and it's going to be the first time they're doing that. And so, that's going to be absolutely fantastic. We've got the final list of speakers. There was one last edition that popped on. So we've got that good to go. So that's exciting.
That's
And
right.
we're
We're gonna get the schedule. We got to do it like Dan now. Hang on. We're gonna get that schedule locked.
locked in. Locked in.
Dan's never gonna live that down.
It's not
But all things to say this: look, we have the speakers. We know who's coming.
yeah,
We have some absolutely top-notch speakers. We have some excellent topics. And again, if you are thinking about performing, if you are even thinking about being a presenter, this is a conference that you want to come to. You
yeah,
have um, decades upon decades of skill sets that you can connect with, draw from. Uh, you can do all sorts of things with the knowledge
yeah,
that you would get out of PHS. And because it's PHS, we're not, charging arms and legs and other body parts. It is a very reasonable price, but there
yeah.
are some things you need to be aware of. First of all, and I'm use my handy dandy pen here and see if I can make it work. White should show up pretty good. First of all, there aren't that many days left before the summit starts,
Yeah.
and there's even less for you to uh, get your tickets and get your rooms. There it
Booked.
is. You got to get your rooms booked because December 21st is coming. In fact, I was at a school 2 days ago. No, yesterday. Man, it seems like days. I was out of school yesterday, and I said, "You guys realize that if it was next month, it would be Boxing Day already." And they
Wow.
just looked at me and growled, like. So you can tell when the school when the admin assistants are growling a little bit, it's that time of year where the kids are they realize it's getting cold outside too, and but they know Christmas is right around the corner. So there's a whole different dynamic in December inside of schools. But for us, get your rooms booked.
Yes.
Get on. If it's not a Black Friday sale, it's going to be a Christmas sale pretty soon. Even if it's a New Year's sale, get your airline tickets booked. Get ready to be present and engaged in Vegas because we have 3 days of absolutely excellent information, 3 days of connecting, and you can extend that on either side if you want to come in ahead of the conference and do some
Yep.
sightseeing, get together with some folks, or you can do it on the back end of the conference. The same thing. Last year, I know we had some folks that went to a Vegas Knights hockey game. There was lots of other people going various different places. We had opportunities to connect within the conference itself. So
I mean, the connections that are made just at this is brilliant. And yeah, the connections you can make for your business alone for this. I saw someone who's one of the speakers again this year. Actually, I'll not say who it is, but I saw their social media after last year, and it the credibility it gave them as a performer in their local area, and loads of people were commenting on their Vegas stuff, and that's especially for, as a performer, being seen at this event, being seen in Vegas with top names in the industry does no harm to your reputation and your authority as an expert hypnotist.
well, exactly, and I'm trying to remember. It was one of John. Either it was John Candy or it was Jim Carrey. It was a Canadian who said it anyway. My reputation precedes me, otherwise I'd be late for all my appointments.
Yes.
And it was either he was Harry Crumb or it was um, oh gosh, Ace Ventura. One of the two,
Yes.
whichever one said it. Reputation is everything,
Yes.
because if you're only as good as your last performance, or you're only as good as your perceived ability in your last performance.
Yeah.
Uh, do we have off nights because we're performers and we're human? Sure, we do. Do we have sometimes where it's a slightly different type of crowd and it doesn't quite connect? Sure, we do. We work through those. But by and large, if you have a solid reputation, people are still going to hire you. You're still going to get recommendations. I was fortunate enough to be able to get connected with the Volunteer Firefighters Association of Saskatchewan. Did a performance in Melville for them. Got some absolutely stellar, recommendations from them. From there, I got connected up with a few people and a talent agency, and at this point, it looks like I'll be almost completely booked out, to at least as much as I can handle for the Christmas season. That doesn't happen because I just sat around thinking, yeah, someday I'll get around to being a performer.
Yeah.
No, it started because somebody had an idea that we should put together a summit that just focuses on this, and I think whose social media I'm gonna pick on you, Claudia, because she started. She did a couple of shows now, but her
Yeah.
first show, I remember the post because I commented on it, and she said, "This is so addicting. This is so much fun." I said, "Yes, just be careful because it is very addicting."
Yes.
And she said, "Yeah, I could get used to it." It's like, yeah, you don't know how much fun it is when you have the ability to get out in front of people and make them laugh,
And
make
it's
them make them feel something.
yes. And it's amazing how many hypnotherapists, very successful hypnotherapists, will, do what they do and do it well. And then they do a couple of shows and it transforms like how they deliver hypnosis. It transforms how they work with clients. It transforms their reputation that doing that stuff creates for them. And it's people that for years were like, oh, I don't know if I'd be any good as a stage hypnotist. And then they do a couple of shows and it's a game changer for them.
Yeah, and there again, there's this view that it's two separate things. It's not. It's two sides of the same, and I don't have a coin with me, but it's two sides of the same coin. And whether your heads or tails, it really doesn't matter as long as when you flip it, something comes up. Because heads I win and tails you lose. Uh, anybody who's ever played that game, you just can't win because heads I win and tails you lose. Um,
If you're a hypnotherapist and you don't study stage hypnosis, then that's half, at least half of what hypnosis is that's being left untouched. And so you've got to learn all aspects of hypnosis if you want to be a authentic hypnotist.
yeah, and I think the other thing is the realization that it doesn't maybe take as long as we think it does to enable change.
Yes. Yes.
Because that as when you're on stage, you don't have 3 sessions to get them ready to make a change. It has to, you're on the go. You're motivated. You have to get things done, and you have, of course, with you, um, some volunteers who are very motivated. Well, you flip that over. If you have a motivated client, in some cases, it really won't take them, 3 sessions to do whatever it is that they want to do if they're motivated.
Yeah. 100%.
Who do we have that's joining us? Hang on here. Oh, some guy named Tommy. We were
Uh,
just talking about you. Your ears must have been burning, sir.
so yeah, so Tommy, we're looking at it doing as a post-conference workshop, which speaking to Tommy this afternoon, as I said earlier, just really excited for it. And it's one of those workshops that whether you're new to this or experienced, I think you'll get some real value from it.
Yep.
So yeah, and Tommy's a great guy as well.
He is. He is. And there again, Tommy came out. It was his first time last year. Made some connections and has, really kind of taken off like a shot, shall we say,
Yeah,
um,
and
this year.
that's why this is a summit and not just a conference. This is real people making real connections that adds real value to their business.
Yep, 100%. All right, so speakers, the speaker submissions are all done. They're over with. We will have a schedule by next week. It's been kind of busy for Grant, obviously, and nobody wants to work on a plane either. How long was the flight over? It
Oh
was. I know it's 3 hours from Toronto to Saskatoon. There's no question about that.
yeah,
Uh,
I with the time difference, I've no idea, but it was long, and it was quite a challenging flight. To be fair, I mean it was Virgin, which they're very nice, but oh yeah,
yeah, and again, when you're on a flight, you're kind of focused on when am I, are we there yet? Are we there yet? So anyway, and it takes some time to get acclimated and whatnot. So uh, we will have that schedule out next week,
yeah.
uh,
Look,
complete with the list of speakers, so you know who is coming. We've hinted a number of times as to who will be around, and we've of course mentioned that Tommy will be doing a post Tom Silver Foundation workshop and certification. And Tommy's saying, "I cannot wait." Tommy, you have 56 days to wait. That's it.
I love that.
It's not that far away. I remember when we were doing this and we pulled it out and it still said 300.
Yeah,
It seemed like so far away, and now it's 56 days.
wow.
You know, the conference generally changed the course of my entire career. It's an amazing experience, and that's what you need in your life.
Yes.
You're going to have amazing experiences, but when you can capitalize on that experience, that's when it becomes magic.
Yeah. And like I said, I've seen guys from all over the world that were there last year where, just by being there and being seen around those people and being seen in Vegas just validated them as performers, and their careers have gone on to do tremendous things as well.
Yep. Tommy saying time distortion, here I come.
Yeah.
If you go at full impulse and just nudge warp one, you it would seem, it would seem like minutes. Or if you're familiar with the jargon, hours would seem like days.
Yes. I
All
must say,
right.
there was a headspace audio on the plane, which was like a guided meditation slash hypnosis thing. So I thought I'll listen to that for jet lag. Um, Made no difference whatsoever.
There are days, there are days. Um, it's the excitement of being in a place that's so cold. That's what it
That's what
is.
it is. Oh,
Anyway, what else do we have on the docket here?
I did say this earlier to the Reese, who's absolutely amazing. I'm like, he was telling me about like -30 and -40, and I'm like, this is nature's way of telling you that you should not be living in this part of the world.
Oh, it gets colder. So, um, yeah, I have so many stories about so many different places. You mentioned that you were off to another location tomorrow. You're actually going to drive right through the city that I grew up in.
Oh,
Not that Saskatoon wasn't a large part of growing up because that's where I went to university. But oh, we got a question here. Are the videos going to be for sale?
there will be afterwards as well, but the videos are great, but it's never as good as being in there in person because you get to ask the questions. But yeah,
Yeah,
the
and
replays will be available.
you can attend online only, and if for whatever reason you can't make January work in your schedule, or you get snowed in, or Grant's starting to get an understanding of what it could be when I say, "Oh yeah, it's snowing outside." Yeah, there'll be snow, all right.
Yeah,
Um, uh, you know, whatever that circumstance is, if you absolutely cannot make it to be with us, you can still be with us online,
yeah, yeah.
and you would have your choice then of any of the two rooms that are presenting, plus an online stream that we have on the side as well.
And it makes it accessible. But the idea behind the virtual rooms is so it makes it easy for people to attend, um, pick up the skills and the knowledge from that, earn more money in the hypnosis business, and then come back in person the year after.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. All right.
Cool.
So, with that in mind, we had a late cancellation for not next week, but the week after, and Hypnosis Hero. So we thought
Oh,
on the second Tuesday we would do a PHS primer.
that
So
makes sense.
I know that our friend Joe Beth, the judgmentalist, will be with us. Hopefully, we'll see what your schedule is like because you're still getting that fed to you. In
Minute.
hey, you take advantage while you can, right? Uh,
Exactly.
but definitely, what we want to be able to do is have a bunch of people jump on, talk about what they're going to talk about, and a little bit more about why they decided to come to PHS in the first place.
Yeah.
Because actually, last year would have been Joe Beth's second year,
Yeah.
and he delivered an absolutely stellar talk on what it was like for that first year that he, between the two Januaries, and not that I was capitalizing on between the two minds. I wasn't quite that. I wasn't quite that smart, or between two ferns, or whatever it is that goes on But between the two Januaries, Joe Beth, he would be one that would say right away that his career took a major uptick.
And what a great performer! And if you've not heard Joe F speak yet, come and listen to. He is a great speaker. So yeah, definitely a great guy.
So that'll be coming up on the second uh, Tuesday of December, which I want to say is somewhere sitting around like the 11th or 12th, something like that. I have to double check. Hang on.
It's
Here we
the
go. It is the 9th. So December 9th. Tuesday, December 9th, we will have some heroes.
Hypno Heroes. It's in Hypno Harry. It says there. It is in the diary.
There we go.
Cool.
All right.
Outside of PHS, it's good to see some of the speakers being announced for Hypno Thoughts. And it was great to see some great photos and stuff from the UK Hypnosis Convention.
Yeah, you know what? I'll zip right back to that because um, there are some people there that speak, some very young speakers. Uh, oh gosh, I don't want to butcher her name. Madeline. She was talking about having fun with inductions,
Mm,
and it was almost like scenes from a hat. You know, pull a scenario and we'll make an induction out of it. And to critical acclaim, I know she was able to connect with Scott Salmon, so I wouldn't be surprised at some point to see her speaking at Hypnothoughts.
yeah,
And of course, Scott was the conference closer out there, and to everything that I've seen and everybody that was posting that I'm connected with, it looked to be a really stellar conference.
yeah. So Jason Simmons, a good friend of mine, was the performing hypnotist there, and it looked like he did an absolutely stellar job. And so, yeah, Jason is a great hypnotist. I'm trying to get him to come out to Vegas as well. But he's a genuinely nice guy as well, which is always nice when someone's a great performer and a nice person.
Yeah, 100%. You know what the secret is? It will be warmer in Vegas.
It will be warmer in Vegas.
Grant's saying anything's got to be warmer than this right now.
Oh my goodness, yes.
What is it? Only -5? Hang on here. Never did check the weather. All right.
-9.
-9. Oh, we're still in single digits.
Yeah,
Yes, there's frost on the car. You know, you got to let it warm up for 10 or so minutes before you go driving anywhere, but that's okay. All right. What else do we got? Almost near the end. I usually pull some kind of a quote when I'm on my own or with Brian. This one from Milton Erickson: "A goal without a date is just a dream."
such a powerful quote.
It is, and it's quoted a lot,
Yeah,
especially by coaches. They will look at this, especially when they're trying to help people actually set a reasonable goal, because everybody has a dream. I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a billionaire. I want to be this. I want to be that. How are you going to get there? And
yeah,
what chunk of that, how are you going to get there, are you going to focus on first?
yeah,
You know, it's like the jigsaw with 1,000 pieces. You know,
yeah,
you start putting those pieces in place, eventually that vision will be displayed. Uh, but you have to have all 1,000 pieces, because if you're missing one and it happens to be, you know, let's say it's the Mona Lisa, and if it happens to be you're missing her eyeball, you don't have the Mona Lisa.
yeah,
So, and order matters, right? It's always easier to work along the edges and get the boundary set before you fill in what happens. So,
absolutely, absolutely.
strategy.
Yeah. think Jim Roth does a thing on it, and he's like, what is your goal? Where do you want to be success wise? And then write down 20 ways in which you can achieve it. And then once you've got your list of 20, you then focus in on one of them and just work your way through the list. It says, and eventually the success becomes inevitable if you do the steps.
Yep. I actually am working on a course that will hopefully be ready soon um, on goals. And it's not SMART goals. I'm not sure what I'm going to call it. I might call it anything but SMART goals.
Yeah.
Because SMART goals are great for businesses.
Yeah.
Because businesses have very defined functions. Things are exactly, they're cyclical. You can figure out what that, what that cadence needs to be uh, to make things smart. But in your personal life, it's very different. It's very chaotic. You have more opportunity for chaos to be introduced into how you get to your goals. So the strategy maybe needs to be just a slightly bit more flexible. And so that's coming out soon
Nice. Nice.
because I'm flexible that way.
Yeah. So is your goal to get your course on goals finished?
That is the end game. Yes,
Cool.
that is the end game. We'll get there.
Exactly. Do the steps, do the work, you'll get there.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And you know what? I don't mind. Pushing it off if people want to keep booking me to do shows. I mean, that's tis the season, and it's interesting because depending on the shows that you get and the people that you work with, more than half of my income uh, will come from shows, which
Wow.
is a good feeling to know that you're able to jump in and work with people, entertain them, make them laugh, and just generally have some fun.
Yeah. And that's it, it's having fun. You're having fun and marketing your business at the same time.
Yep. All right.
Love it.
That's where we're at. The end of the newscast. If you have questions about PHS, please feel free to reach out to myself, to Grant, uh, to Brian. Casey, I know is working on solidifying the number of volunteers that she's going to have this year. Richard Cole, I know is working behind the scenes with us as well. So is Dan Goyette. Uh, but definitely, if you have questions or you want to know something, talk to one of us, and you'll get it. I would say straight from the horse's mouth, but they're in the barn right now because it's cold outside. Until next time, take care, stay well,
Be
be
awesome.
awesome. Good night, everybody.